Good morning folks, and welcome back to the next episode of cycling around Singapore whilst having a little chat along the way. This morning I'm starting outside Canadian International School. We're going to have a cycle up to Chinese Garden and round the cycle path and away from some of this traffic. So I'll turn the camera around and let's go and have a look. So the first thing, we're just going to go across the canal here, and to my right is the MRT line from Lakeside to Chinese Garden. So that's another absolutely beautiful day in Singapore, and we've had a few restrictions changed. We now no longer have to wear masks outside, which is excellent. Although you still have to wear them inside. We're allowed groups of 10, up from 5. And we can travel to a couple of places unrestricted. We can now go to Malaysia through any means, so by the land border or flying, and you don't need to test before you go, and you don't need to test before you come back. So we've got a couple of weekends coming up, and we're certainly going to have a look to see if we can maybe find a hotel for a weekend in Malaysia. So that's a bit better, away from the a lot of the traffic now. It's quite noisy on that main road. Didn't take much to get away from it. Oh, you can feel the heat coming up from the ground. They've been doing a lot of work here for the last couple of years in this Chinese Garden area. It's all part of the Jurong Lake Gardens extension. I think it's going to be quite nice when it's done. So, health insurance. All started a couple of weeks ago. I had a health screening, an annual health screening. I have one done every year. Through work, it was about $150. And you have your cholesterol done, and your weight and your height and your BMI, and check various things. Anyway, I had a very slight increase in my liver markers. So, when speaking to the doctor, she said perhaps we should refer you just to get it checked out. I thought, fair enough, got me insurance, why not? So, I had to go and see the doctor at the polyclinic, and he was $52. And I would say he was absolutely brilliant. So this is where they play cricket on a Sunday. You'll come down here and there'll be a couple of teams playing away. Yes, so the doctor at the polyclinic was brilliant. He checked me and checked all sorts of things, and must have been in there a good 20 minutes. So he was well worth his $52. And he referred me to a liver specialist. So I went down to the Singapore National Hospital to see the liver specialist, and he was $125 to see him. And he done similar kind of checks and said, oh, there's nothing really to worry about, you look okay. Just to be on the safe side, we'll send you for a CT scan. So I said to him, well, I've only got a limited amount of health insurance each year. How much are we looking for the CT scan? Not really in the way, is it? And he found out for me at the hospital, over $1,000. And he goes, there's a private company to do a little bit cheaper. So he booked me into that. $750. to have my CT scan, and they did that. The results come back. I had to go back to see the doctor. Second appointment with the doctor, another $90, and it just goes to show you that it really doesn't take too long before your $1,000 of medical insurance is used up. So obviously, as a Singaporean, they get heavily discounted, and because we're expats and foreigners, we have to pay the private rate, which is much more expensive. It's a similar thing with the dentist. When I went to the dentist, my dental allowance is $600 a year. I had a very small filling, $294 it comes to, with a sort of x-ray and various other things that they decided to do. So I think the moral of the story would be the medical care is absolutely first class. So they really are good. I can't fault them at all. They take very good care of me. They did all the tests necessary. I have no regrets whatsoever. One thing I would say though, if you're coming to Singapore, make sure you have adequate health insurance, because I think the pennies can soon start adding up if you're not careful. I mean, if I had something wrong with me and I needed an operation, I don't know where we go from there. I think at that point I'd probably be flying back to England. But luckily we didn't need to do that. So that's what I've been up to this week, other than working and cycling around filming myself. Now this place here is quite interesting. It's a climbing wall. On Sundays they have quite a few people here, and they teach them how to climb. Which is noticed in the last Olympics, it's just become an Olympic sport. Guess we start off on the flatter one over there, and you regress the orange one with the overhangs, and it's attached to the Science Museum. What looks like a massive Rubik's Cube with an upside down knife tick on it. That's Snow City. Snow City is probably the coldest place in Singapore, maybe. I don't know. I've never been in there. It's probably not actually that cold. When we first come, you could go skygazing. Skygazing? Looking at the stars and the moon. And yeah, you have to book an appointment. I think it's about once a month they used to do it. And you go and see, there's got a big telescope around the back in the observatory. And we had, you could see Saturn and its rings. And I think you could see Mars. And it was actually pretty good. And unfortunately it's another one of these things that we only managed to do it at once because it's been closed ever since. So we're coming up to the Gerongi Shopping Centre, and Westgate is on my left hand side. Just whip across the crossing here if we can. Can I go? Yeah, I reckon I can. And this is an old building they're knocking down and redeveloping soon. As part of the regeneration. They don't tend to leave their buildings derelict for too long before they decide to do something new with them. I noticed in the Cube building, the other side of J Cube, sorry, the box building, they're refurbing that out to make offices, and it's going to be a city within a city apparently. So this is Genting Hotel. This has been a quarantine hotel for the last couple of years. I think it's a 4-star hotel. Never actually been in it, never stayed in it, have no idea if it's any good. But it's the beauty of TripAdvisor. You can go on, make your own decisions, and decide if you want to stay there or not. At the Genting Hotel. So there we go. I think I'll leave this one here outside the Genting Hotel, and I'm going to make my way back round. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.